This is something I've done in the past that, because of the frustration of him only reacting in his environment, at his house or on your walk, you're basically going to counter condition with, okay, we can't really be reliable on the reactivity, which means we can't work on it efficiently enough. So what I would rather do is, instead of focusing on that, okay, how are we going to stop him from reacting? Let's just switch gears, focus on a really, really nice heel. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to define that a little bit more. So we switch. So this is something I call a tune-up. So I encourage people to do this before they go out for walks, before they do training on any level, no matter if you're doing ring sport or basic obedience or competitive obedience. When you switch environments, the dog will then change, just like we do. Like, I'm different here than when I am whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to walk through the tune-up really quickly and just show you exactly how I would tune the dog up to get the engagement. And so you see how he's kind of like, so I want to see what he does here. Good. Good. Heel. Good. So the idea is to Good. I don't want, basically the heel command, every dog trainer has different vocabulary, just like every cook uses a little bit different ingredients for the final dish. My heel command is the dog is in a motion on my left side as I'm moving forward on my heels. So I don't want his shoulders. So before, remember, I was kind of telling, I may not have, but I usually do. I'm like, if we're not working on like competitive obedience, I'm not too like, if we're working on behavior, I'm not too stern on like, you know, you started off with the left foot, so the right foot. But now I kind of want to switch gears again and get a little bit more specific on his heeling. So I don't want his front paws to really be, so I don't want him here. Yep. I want him always here. Until I release him, of course. Yeah. So this is an inside turn. So what you're seeing is I'm turning into him, but I want you to watch what I'm doing. There's a lot of subtleties that are going in right here. Watch my arm and watch how slow I move my leg. So right now, see what he's trying to do? That's what he's doing with you on the walk, heel. So I want to reverse engineer that a little bit, and I'm going to slow down, and I'm really going to proof him to see if he actually knows the heel or I'm just keeping up with him. So I'm going to go this way here in a minute, but I'm going to slow down. Good. Good. And then when I turn into him, good. He has every opportunity to cut in front of me, but he's not, which is good. So I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to go nice and slow. I'm not keeping up with him to make him look good. I'm going slow. Stop, little proof. He's right where I want him. Turn. Good job, buddy. So what we're doing is, instead of focusing on how do we get the reactivity to stop, we're focusing on how do we get the reactivity to never start, with really refining the heel command, which is something we didn't start with because the reactivity, as you said, was so bad. And then when he got here, nothing. And this is something that we can control instead of like him reacting. So this is what I want you to do, is really go out and work on refining your heel command. Like, do not let him pass go at all, ever. So be super strict about it. So then what's going to happen is, good. That's perfect. And then, so what I want you to start doing is, a lot of dogs, when you go to turn inside, like you're seeing, is he'll go that way. Two reasons, is he wants the heel to stop and he wants to go to you right now. But so what you do is, instead of like, so what I usually do with like puppies or dogs, no, heel. Good. What I usually do with dogs that are new on the leash, new to leash pressure, I help them understand what I'm trying to do by boxing them out. So when I get here, I know what they're going to want to do is go there. So before they get there, I'll box them out to go that way to make sure that they can't cut in front like he was in the reactive video that you showed me. So instead of boxing that out and like sliding him into place, like using bumpers when you're bowling, slow down and like watch what I do here. Literally, you see how I'm going into like slow motion on that turn? Because that's, if he's gonna mess up, it's gonna be right there. And if I slow it down all the way, I'll be able to tell if he's with me or he's not. So I'm gonna do it again. Good. And then right here's the moment where normally I end up here, right? Because I try to go and he tries to go that way. Right? Absolutely. So slow it down a little bit and redefine the heel. Heel. Good. Nice and loose leash. Good. I'm going to slow down. Good. Ollie sickles. So you get a distraction, and I kept that slow motion. Good. So I'm going to do the same thing as I just did. So nothing's going to change with me. Inside turn, nice and slow. Good. 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 Nice job, buddy. Good.
Looks at us seeing good.
Sit. Good. Nice job. Yeah. Okay. Very, very, very good point. Very good topic, very good question. And I'll break it down really quickly. So I would say more than half of good dog training is the presenter, right? So you could have like really like a good dog that knows right from wrong, but if the person that's presenting that like messes everything up, it's not gonna look good, right? And so there, if you rewind, and I didn't change anything about me. I said practice, practice, you got it, cool. And then the dog came out, okay, game time, dude, right? And then I did the same thing, kept my composure, and he kept his. How many times should we be saying heel and what we should be doing? That's where a lot of people mess up, is they dilute the command by, like you said, heel, heel, heel. If you have to say, so for me, good dog training and a good dog trainer or a good handler is somebody who has to use very little pressure, if any. So I would consider myself, for most of my sessions, a purely positive reinforcement trainer. Because typically I can free shape and just use rewards to get the dog to do what I want with very, very little bit of pressure. But even if you even if you tell the dog no, and like if they jumped up and you just grabbed them and put them down, I would be disqualified as like considered a purely positive reinforcement trainer because I gave a dog a correction. Even though like corrections to a lot of people is prong collars, e-collars, kicking, screaming, not at all. A correction to a dog is literally like a verbal like no or down or off, or grabbing the dog and taking the dog off. And so anyway, it's the same thing. Like when you tell a dog to do something, it's just like telling a kid to do something as far as a relationship goes. I don't think dogs and kids are the same by any means. I'm talking about parenting and the logic and the reality of like the ideology of like what you're going to think of it as. So if you told your kid like go to your room, go to your room, go to your room, by like the fourth and fifth time, it's super, super diluted, and it's not as meaningful as it was if you meant it the first time, right? So when I tell a dog to heel, I don't say it 100 times. I don't say it 50 times. And I don't make the dog do it, and I don't correct the dog as I say it. The only time I'll give a dog pressure and the only time I'll give a dog a correction is if they don't comply and they know what I want. So that's where people make the mistake.
People are like sit,
yeah.
sit,
and
sit,
yeah, and they're saying
sit once, and then if he like when he's like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Slow, like is that?
Yeah, exactly. But that's a good point. Is like you never give a dog pressure unless they know what they're doing is wrong. And so when I'm exactly what you were saying, like nice and calm. So when I'm heeling a dog, like it should be nice and calm like this. Good. Good. Nice, buddy. Nice and heel right into him. And then I can say, hey, good heel. I can give him that little verbal praise of like, that's good, that's what I like to see. So you got it. And the other thing is I'm not taking the leash and saying heel and popping him, because that pop is bad dog. So you have to be careful about that too, because
That's confusion.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Punishment, and I'm asking you.
Yeah.
It's like,
What do we want to do?
yeah, like it's not fair. So very simple. You just heel. Good. And at any moment, the dog gets out of position, especially for him because he has really bad reactivity issues at home. We're working more on positioning than we are on the reactivity because we can't demonstrate it here, unfortunately. So when we're doing this, you want nice loose leash just like this. Good. And if he ever gets out of that heel, good. So, good. So the only time that I would then the only time I would really give him a correction is if he got out of that heel. So I'm gonna Koda, touch. Good. Good. No pressure anywhere. So right now I'm a purely positive reinforcement trainer, right? Because I'm not giving the dog any pressure. And when I do correct the dog, just like if I don't have children, but when I do and if I do, like when I say it the first time, I mean it. And it's not about me being the big bag alpha or anything. It's just, I'm saying that for your safety. Like hold my hand means hold my hand.
Yeah.
Ask permission before you eat something because I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So same thing with dogmanship. It should be no different because you're responsible of this dog.